What's up, comic book community? Joe here with another episode of 360 Comics. Patience paid off this past week when I finally got to check out a collection that I've been waiting to see for almost a year, and dare I say it, this collection was incredible. Stay tuned to see what I got. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, I suggest you do so because we have about a week left in our February giveaway. The prize is this book right here, Avengers Forever, number 9, Origin Story of Kang the Conqueror. All you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below. And then you can check out our other videos from the month of February, like them, and leave comments on them for additional entries. Also, go follow over on Instagram because we're announcing a 9,000 follower giveaway soon. The prize is this Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends #1 newsstand, the first appearance of Firestar. I haven't posted this giveaway yet, but I will be this week, so stay tuned and good luck. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you may remember all the way back to last spring when I did a video about attending a community yard sale and picking up some great comic books there. If you have a really good memory, you might remember that I briefly mentioned also getting a lead on a collection at that time. One of the vendors there had mentioned to me that he had a bunch of Hulk books ranging from the Silver Age into the 1990s, and he was looking to possibly move them at some point. He did mention to me he did not have a Hulk 181. He was aware of the value and significance of that key issue, first appearance of Wolverine, and that was not in there, but he did say he had some really good stuff from back in the Silver Age, and I was definitely interested. So we exchanged numbers, and over the last 9 or 10 months, we have kept in contact every once in a while, checking in, me making sure he didn't sell them out already, him making sure that, I was still interested, and we eventually were able to link up. He did want to look up some prices first, which, some people get unrealistic and think that they can get high retail value for their entire collection. That's just not the case, obviously. No one's going to buy a full collection at high retail value. But that being said, he was very realistic. He understood that not only, is he not going to get top dollar for everything, he understood that I needed to make a profit too on things. Otherwise, it's not worth all the time and effort and unbagging, rebagging, pricing, grading. There's a lot that goes into selling comic books. So he understood that. And finally, after many, many months, we were able to get together and make a deal that we were both happy with. So let's get into a brief overview of the entirety of the collection. And then at the end, we're going to talk about not only the key significant books that were in this collection, but also I'm going to save 3 for the end that are the best books in my opinion. Stay tuned. Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk, first appeared in The Incredible Hulk #1 in 1962. But that title was canceled after just 6 issues due to lack of popularity, which is a crazy thing to think about with how popular Hulk is today. Anyway, the people at Marvel thought the character was good enough to keep around, so they put him in The Avengers in 1963, and then this run right here, Tales to Astonish, in 1964, and he appeared in issues 59 through 101 when the title ended, and this guy just happened to have every single issue of the run. But that cancellation came with a purpose. You see, at this point, Hulk had gained enough momentum as a character to hold his own in his own solo run once again, so they decided to restart the Incredible Hulk run. Instead of restarting at issue #1 or at issue #7 where they left off initially, they decided to use the numbering from Tales to Astonish, so starting with issue 102. And again, this guy had just about every single issue, except for one that is missing right here. Yup, he did not have Hulk 181. He did have 180 and 182, but no first Wolverine, but every other single Hulk book from the Silver to the Bronze Age right here and beyond. In fact, this run ran straight through the entire Bronze Age and into the Copper Age. And through the entirety of the Copper Age and into the Modern Age, the 1990s finally ending in 1999, right before the turn of the century, with issue number 474, which homaged the very first issue of Hulk from 1962. Full circle story here. Last but not least, before we get into talking about the key issues, he had the first 3 Hulk annuals, as well as a bunch of books that he bought just because Hulk was on the cover. And now some of these books are actually considered classic covers and key issues. I'm definitely not mad about that. And then what would a comic collection be without these 4 books? Pretty much everyone you buy has them. We got Breaking the Bat, Death of Superman, Spawn #1, and X-Men #1. Absolute classics. All right, we're going to kick off the keys with some classic covers here, including this one, Wolverine #8, iconic image by John Buscema featuring Joe Fixit and Wolverine as Patch on the front. But this wasn't the first classic John Buscema Hulk cover, because right here, all the way back in the late Silver, early Bronze Age, we've got Fantastic Four #112. Classic Thing vs. Hulk battle, iconic cover, tough to get in high grade due to the black cover, but a great book nonetheless. Then we got this right here, Submariner #34. This is the first time that we had Silver Surfer, Namor, and Hulk all together. You may recognize that those 3, along with Doctor Strange, made up the initial Defenders team, which came about later. So this is kind of like an unofficial Defenders appearance. And then in this issue, the very next issue, this is their first time teaming up, I believe, against the Avengers, if I remember correctly. But yeah, these 2 are significant in that they are kind of like a little prerequisite to the actual Defenders' first appearance in Marvel Feature #1. And of course, that went on to turn into the Defenders' own solo run, which ran like 160 issues or something like that. Then we've got a early Fantastic Four book, issue number 26. This is the first ever meetup of the Fantastic Four and the Avengers. Will we see these 2 teams meet up on the big screen? I think that is inevitable. I think it is absolutely going to happen. And it's got this really, really cool cover here of all those characters on both teams fighting on this building side right here. Then we've got this right here, and this was like, oh man, this is a little bit of a bummer because of the condition of this book. Journey into Mystery #112, classic battle between Hulk and Thor. Actually, their first battle. They did meet, they were in the Avengers together. This was about a year after the Avengers debuted, I think, maybe 2 years. But this is the first time they battled head-to-head against each other, and I'm just going to pull this up really quickly because, unfortunately, someone hole-punched the top of this book. So just above Thor's head, there is a hole through the book. This book is a very expensive book otherwise, but is in low grade. So I think I have it priced, at $60 there. Definitely a very affordable copy of that key book. Then we're moving on to some Tales to Astonish. Like I mentioned before, issue number 59 is the first issue with Hulk in it of Tales to Astonish, but he was not like a official featured character. He just crossed over into this book that was a Giant Man book. But due to the sales of this book, the popularity of this little crossover here, we had Hulk starting in the next issue as one of the main features. So this book became a half Giant Man, half Hulk. Sometimes they crossed over, but a lot of times their stories were separate as well. This one specifically just retells the story from the last issue of Incredible Hulk, which is issue number 6. I actually believe it's just a reprinted story of that, but still a really significant book because of, Hulk taking on this run. Still from that same run, we've got Tales to Astonish number 62, a couple issues later. This is the first appearance of the Leader in cameo, and then the very next issue, number 63, is the first appearance of the Leader in full, and then finally, the last Leader key, issue number 64, again, the next issue. This is the first cover appearance and second appearance of the Leader. There's some other minor significance. I think this is like the second Atuma, and I think the previous issue is the first Humanoid, but the Leader is the big one here, and that character is going to be coming back to the MCU I believe in Captain America New World Order, I think, is the property that character will be back in. I'm not sure. Anyway, continuing with the Tales to Astonish, this is issue number 77. Great cover here. And this is actually the first issue where Submariner, Namor, says the phrase Imperious Rex, which we saw him say on the screen. I was happy about that. That's kind of his call line there. And something to mention is that notice that Giant Man is no longer in the title. They did switch out Giant Man for Submariner, I think around issue 71 or something like that. I should have probably put that one in here, but I couldn't put every key. There are far more keys than we're able to fit into one video, so I had to pick and choose. This next one is also has to do with someone saying something. This is the first issue that Hulk says Hulk smash, and this is on number 88. So we have 77 with Namor saying Imperious Rex and 88 with Hulk saying Hulk smash for the first time. And those have just become two very iconic lines tied to these characters. And you can't go anywhere without, seeing Hulk say Hulk smash. Kids say it all the time. My friends' kids and my nephew and stuff, they all know that line. That is just so iconic and tied to the character. Anyway, issue number 90 of Tales to Astonish is the first appearance of Abomination, who did recently return to the MCU in a couple different roles in the last year or so, 2 years, I guess, after initially only being in the 2008 Incredible Hulk movie, the Edward Norton one, which I think is a very underrated movie in my opinion, and is definitely part of the MCU, whether you like it or not. Anyway, first Abomination, and then we got the second appearance of Abomination, as well as his first cover appearance. This one, man, I wish this was his first appearance because it's such a perfect cover. I think if this was his first appearance cover, it would be worth way more than the first appearance is now, just due to that cover. Anyway, we got a couple more Tales to Astonish books right here. This is issue number 93, classic Marie Severin cover, featuring Silver Surfer coming right at you. This is definitely a book that Silver Surfer collectors go for. Kind of similar a little bit in a way to Jack Kirby's cover on Fantastic Four, I think 72 is the number, with the red and black background. Kind of similar to that, but we got like Flames and Hulk on this one. Definitely an iconic classic. I'm going to use those words so many times during this video because that's what this stuff is, especially the Silver Age stuff. Moving on, this is the second to last issue of the run, issue number 100, a milestone issue and a classic battle between these two characters, Submariner and the Incredible Hulk. And with these two, I hope we see them battle it out on the big screen like this. A mutant like Submariner and a gamma-radiated genius like Hulk maybe going at it on the screen. I think that would be a really cool way to, have these characters meet up for the first time. We'll see. We'll see what they do with Submariner, and we'll see how long Hulk lasts in the MCU, because he is one of the longest running characters. Actually, he really is the longest running character, because the first Hulk movie was the second movie of the MCU, and he is still around. Obviously, Iron Man is gone, but now I'm off track, and we're going to keep moving. That is it for the Tales to Astonish books, but as I mentioned before in the video, after issue 101, Tales to Astonish just changed its name to The Incredible Hulk, and had him as the only focused character. It wasn't split with Submariner or Giant Man anymore. This is the first issue of that run. It even says big premiere issue on the side, and has a great cover. That is so important with these Silver Age books. Then we're moving on to, sorry, this should have actually been first, but it is what it is. I meant to put the annual first. This is definitely an iconic cover. I can't stress out enough how I love this cover. I might keep this one for my personal collection. There's a bunch of books that I am keeping for my PC that are upgrades to things that I already have or things that I don't have yet. This is one that I'm thinking about keeping just because of this classic Steranko cover. Absolutely just, it's been homaged 1,000 times. Love it. I actually have a poster of it somewhere. Maybe I should have put that back in the back behind this video, but Anyway, Hulk Annual #1. Moving on with more Incredible Hulk stuff up to issue number 141. This is the first appearance of Doc Samson. This character did appear in that 2008 Hulk movie. We have not seen the character since, and he also was just... he wasn't in gamma radiated form yet in that movie. He was just kind of a supporting character. I thought it was fine, but I would love to see this actual character show up. Will they bring back Ty Burrell? Who knows? Anyway, the very next issue is another key first appearance of Valkyrie. Really, really great cover. I love the perspective here. Can't go wrong with a really cool cover with the character on the front. And speaking of, we got the first appearance of Wendigo, issue number 162. And this is a character who continued throughout this run, meeting up with Hulk multiple times until this issue, where Wendigo and Hulk were fighting, and Wolverine pops in on that last panel in a cameo appearance. Yes, it is a cameo. He's only on one page. This is a cameo appearance. It's not the first full appearance of Wolverine. I know I'm going to get some flack for that. Some people like to say 180 is the first full. It's not. Anyway, first cameo appearance of Wolverine. Now, as I mentioned before, there was no 181. Unfortunately, he either never had that book or had already sold it or something, but no 181. But we're going to hop over to the next one, 182. That is the first appearance of Hammer and Anvil, but no one really cares about them. It is the second cameo appearance or third overall appearance of Wolverine, whatever you want to call it. He does appear briefly in this, and the next time we see him is in Giant Size X-Men #1. Continuing with the Incredible Hulk keys, we got issue number 234. Yeah, 234. First appearance of Quasar. This has been highly speculated on for a while now, thinking, oh, is this character going to show up in Guardians? Is this character going to be introduced to the MCU at all? What is happening? And due to the character named Quaz that was in Quantumania, a lot of people thought that that might be just code word for Quasar. It was not. It's a totally different character, and people, kind of got ahead of themselves thinking that. But I understand why. I mean, similar first three letters and then a Z instead of the S. But hey, we might see that character eventually. We'll have to wait and see. Speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, we got the Incredible Hulk number 271, the first comic book appearance of Rocky the Raccoon. He was in I forget if it was a magazine or a graphic. I think it was a magazine. Graphic novel? Magazine. I think it was a magazine before. But either way, first appearance of Rocky Raccoon. Rocky. He was Rocky originally. In the magazine, he was Rocky. I meant to say Rocket, because he is Rocket in this issue and continued to be Rocket from here on out. This character obviously is going to be, at least it seems by the trailer, a very a big focal point of the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Will he continue on? Will he be killed off? We'll have to wait and see, but this is a great book to have right now leading up to that big film. Oh man, I kind of wish that I had gotten this before the McFarlane signing, because this classic McFarlane cover featuring the reflection in Wolverine's claws, not only has it been homaged so many times, but if you look at the issue before this and the issue after this, they're like $3 to $5 books, whereas this book sells for over $100, and even in mid-grade and stuff like that. This is a really iconic book. It's one that you kind of have to get graded to really realize the full potential of. And I think I am going to get this one graded, going to give it a press and clean, because it might be up there in the 9s. I'm hoping. Going to give it a once-over. And this might end up staying in the personal collection, depending on how high the grade comes back. The final Incredible Hulk book before we get to the 3 biggest surprises in this collection. You've been very patient. Thanks for that. This is the Incredible Hulk number 449. It is really the only key in the last couple hundred issues, really after, I guess, last 100 issues after this book, 130 issues or so. It is the only really significant book. It is the first appearance of the Thunderbolts, and it is not at all the Thunderbolts team that we're going to see in the MCU, but it is the first time that name was used. for a group of villains banding together as a superhero team. And yeah, I'm really excited for the movie. I think they did a really good job picking out what characters are going to be on that team and featured in that film. So very excited for that. This book has been up and down with rumors and speculation, but we finally know for sure Thunderbolts are coming to the MCU. All right. We got to get into the good ones here. Did not expect to see stuff like this in the collection, but was very, very happy to find it. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, single-digit Hulk books. The first 6 issues were lower print run, much harder to find. People didn't really catch on to the character right away. He just was not super popular, and his run was canceled after just 6 issues. This is the third of those issues. Issue number 3, the third appearance of Hulk. Now, one thing that's interesting about this, it is the UK price variant of this book, which, despite having a lower print run, has a lower price as well, because there were just, there were less of them printed, but there's just less demand. So a lot of people think, oh, there's a smaller print run, they have to be worth more. That is not always the case. There has to be, the demand to make that more valuable. So UK price variants, people do buy them. There is a demand for them, but it is not nearly as much as the American printings of the books. Nonetheless, this is such an iconic, important book, sought after highly by collectors, that, even a low-grade UK price variant, as you see, I have it priced at $500. This has got tape on the spine and stuff like that. I estimate it to be probably a 1.5, I'm thinking. But yeah, it's low grade, but it is an awesome book. Very happy to find that. Due to it being the UK price variant, I am not that big of a collector of those, so I am probably going to sell this one. But this one I am very likely going to keep. Issue number 6, the final issue of the Incredible Hulk, for what? I guess that was 5 years. 5 years before they restarted at issue number 102. Yeah, first appearance of the Metal Master, and single-digit Hulk book. There's not much more to say other than it's a single-digit Hulk book. These are so highly sought after. Again, this one probably staying in the personal collection. It is lower side of mid-grade, upper side of high grade, somewhere in there. I haven't really looked at it yet. Now, this last one. This was the biggest surprise, because this guy told me he had Hulk, and there was Hulk and Tales to Astonish and all that. This is not a Hulk book, but he's on the cover. And you saw some of those before. He did collect Hulk covers. I'm very glad he picked this one up, because this is Amazing Spider-Man number 14. First appearance of the Green Goblin. And look at that. He picked this up because Hulk was down on the bottom corner of the cover as a guest star in this issue. Imagine that. If Hulk had not been on the cover of this book would not have been in this collection. And in my opinion, this is my favorite book of this entire collection. Not only do I collect Amazing Spider-Man, this is an issue that I did not yet own. I am almost certainly keeping this in the personal collection until I can upgrade it. It is a low-grade copy, but I don't care. It's got to stay in the PC for now, because I don't have this book, and I am trying to complete that Amazing Spider-Man run. I'm definitely going to try to upgrade it at some point, but yeah, this being in here was so great. He told me, he's like, there's a box of bunch of Hulk covers. There's some cool ones in there. There's a first Green Goblin, and I almost didn't believe him at first. Like, I thought, oh, is it first Harry Osborn as Green Goblin, which is issue number 136, which still sought after, but not nearly as sought after as this book right here. So yeah, awesome. Really, really cool. Let's talk about what I paid. Like I said, met up with him. He had crunched some numbers. He gave me sheets of paper that he had taken notes on, and he ended up asking me for he kind of had a big write-up of everything, and I think it was if I'm remembering correctly, $3,400 that he was like, yeah, this is kind of what I looked into, what do you think you do? And I was like, well, I can't do that much. You know that, like, you know, I got to rebag and board all this stuff. I got to, you know, put in the hours, the time, blah, blah. Every single book needed to be rebagged and boarded. Some of the bags and boards were clearly from like the 70s and 80s, and, you know, all the 90s books were bagged in the 90s. That being said, he was like, you know, how does 2000 sound? And I told him, I was like, hey, I was going to offer you $1,500. So can we meet in the middle somewhere? And he came back with an offer of $1,700. And that was more than fair to me. I shook his hand, and we made the deal at $1,700. And yeah, I'm really happy with that. You know, the conditions played a factor. Some of these books, especially like the Hulk 180, if it was higher grade, or this book, if it was higher grade, would be worth a lot more. But due to their grade, you know, low condition is going to pull in the lower numbers, and it's kind of harder to move that stuff. So, you know, overall, just really happy with this buy. I'm definitely going to profit from it. I'm definitely going to keep some books from the personal collection as well. So, you know, overall, great business dealing, worth the wait. 9 or 10 months. I really did not think this was going to come to fruition ever. I honestly thought that it wasn't going to happen, but you know what? I kept the guy's number on my phone. I checked in every once in a while, not to be annoying, but just to see what the process was. And like I said in the beginning of the video, it paid off. So please subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up for a like, and leave a comment down below. A lot of these books will be available in my claim sales and in my in-person sales over the next couple weeks. Speaking of, I am going to continue to do claim sales every Friday on Instagram, but I'm also going to be doing every Wednesday on The Experience. Go follow that YouTube channel. It is a great channel of comic book content. And also, I'll be having a live sale at my house on Saturday, March 11th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you live within driving distance of the Philadelphia area, please come check it out. There's going to be tons of stuff available and some really great discounts, as well as fill-a-box deals on the dollar bins. And then, of course, March 25th and 26th in Iselin, New Jersey, King Con round number 4. Be there or be square. If you live on the East Coast, it is definitely one of the better solely comic book events of the year. I'm very excited for the first ever 2-day King Con show. All right, I'm going to stop babbling. Thank you for watching the video. Also, I will be on Comic Book Canon tonight, live at 8 p.m. Check out Comic Book Canon on YouTube. Subscribe to their channel. Set a reminder for 8 p.m. I will be there as a guest co-host. And that's it. I'm going to stop talking now. I'm so hyped about this collection. Like, even just going through it just now, like, my heart's still racing. Love it. All right. Hey, until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.